away, do you go too. I will tell you where. Come and join me wherever I am." Marius was now a thoroughly roused man. He had fallen back into reality. He cried to Cosette:— "Go away with you? Are you mad? Why, I have to have money, and I have none. Go to England? But I am in debt now. I owe, I don't know how much, more than 10 louis to Courfeyrac, one of my friends with whom you are not acquainted. I have an old hat which is not worth 3 francs. I have a coat which lacks buttons in front. My shirt is all ragged. My elbows are torn. My boots let in water. For the last 6 weeks I have not thought about it, and I have not told you about it. You only see me at night, and you give me your love. If you were to see me in the daytime, you would give me a sou. Go to England? Ah! I haven't enough money to pay for a passport." He threw himself against a tree which was close at hand, erect, his brow pressed close to the bark, feeling neither the wood which flayed his skin nor the fever which was throbbing in his temples. And there he stood motionless, on the point of falling, like the statue of despair. He remained a long time thus. One could remain for eternity in such abysses. At last he turned around. He heard behind him a faint stifled noise, which was sweet yet sad. It was Cosette sobbing. She had been weeping for more than 2 hours beside Marius as he meditated. He came to her, fell at her knees, and slowly prostrating himself, he took the tip of her foot, which peeped out from beneath her robe, and kissed it. She let him have his way in silence. There are moments when a woman accepts, like a sombre and resigned goddess, the religion of love. "Do not weep," he said. She murmured:— "Not when I may be going away, and you cannot come." He went on:— "Do you love me?" She replied, sobbing, by that word from paradise, which is never more charming than amid tears:— "I adore you." Marius resumed. He continued in a tone which was an indescribable caress:— "Do not weep. Tell me, will you do this for me, and cease to weep?" "Do you love me?" said she. He took her hand. "Cosette, I have never given my word of honor to any one, because my word of honor terrifies me. I feel that my father is by my side. Well, I give you my most sacred word of honor, that if you go away, I shall die." In the tone with which he uttered these words there lay a melancholy so solemn and so tranquil that Cosette trembled. She felt that chill which is produced by a true and gloomy thing as it passes by. The shock made her cease weeping. "Now listen," said he. "Do not expect me tomorrow." "Why?" "Do not expect me until the day after tomorrow." "Oh, why?" "You will see." "A day without seeing you? But that is impossible." "Let us sacrifice one day in order to gain our whole lives, perhaps." And Marius added in a low tone and in an aside:— "He is a man who never changes his habits, and he has never received any one except in the evening." "Of what man are you speaking?" asked Cosette. "I said nothing." "What do you hope, then?" "Wait until the day after tomorrow." "You wish it?" "Yes, Cosette." She took his hand in both her hands, raising herself on tiptoe in order to be on a level with him, and tried to read his hope in his eyes. Marius resumed:— "Now that I think of it, you ought to know my address. Something might happen. One never knows. I live with that friend named Courfeyrac, Rue de la Verrerie, number 16. He searched in his pocket, pulled out his penknife, and with the blade he wrote on the plaster of the wall, 16 Rue de la Verrerie. In the meantime, Cosette had begun to gaze into his eyes once more. "Tell me your thought, Marius. You have some idea. Tell it to me. Oh, tell me, so I may pass a pleasant night." "This is my idea, that it is impossible that God should mean to part us. Wait, Expect me the day after tomorrow." "What shall I do until then?" said Cosette. "You are outside, you go and come. How happy men are! I shall remain entirely alone. Oh, how sad I shall be! What is it that you are going to do tomorrow evening? Tell me." "I am going to try something." "Then I will pray to God, and I will think of you here, so that you may be successful. I will question you no further, since you do not wish it. You are my master. I shall pass the evening tomorrow in singing that music from Euryanthe that you love, and that you came one evening to listen to outside my shutters. But day after tomorrow you will come early. I shall expect you at dusk, at 9 o'clock precisely. I warn you, mon Dieu, how sad it is that these days are so long. On the stroke of 9, do you understand? I shall be in the garden." "And I also." And without having uttered it, moved by the same thought, impelled by those electric currents which place lovers in continual communication, both being intoxicated with delight even in their sorrow, they fell into each other's arms, without perceiving that their lips met, while their uplifted eyes, overflowing with rapture and full of tears, gazed upon the stars. When Marius went forth, the street was deserted. This was the moment when Éponine was following the ruffians to the boulevard. While Marius had been dreaming with his head pressed to the tree, an idea had crossed his mind, an idea, alas! that he himself judged to be senseless and impossible. He had come to a desperate decision. End of Book 8, Chapters 5 and 6.